So are you ready to dive deep into like the minds of cats?
I'm ready.
Let's get into it because we're going to talk about all those like quirky and sometimes really baffling behaviors
Right.
that our cats have, and we want to know why they do the things they do.
Yeah.
And so the source we're looking at today, explores this whole like predator-prey duality that
Right.
cats
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
and how that like shaped their behaviors over millions of years.
Yeah.
So, you know how my cat Mitchka is obsessed with climbing?
Uh-huh.
Everything in sight, curtains, bookshelves, like you name it, she's climbing it.
That's great.
It's like she thinks she's a tiny mountain lion conquering Everest in my living room.
Yeah. I mean, in the wild, cats like Mitchka's ancestors would have needed to be able to quickly climb to get away from danger.
Right.
And they needed to survey their territory, and heights give them a significant advantage
Right.
to see both prey and any potential threats that might be coming.
So when she's perched precariously on top of my bookcase, she's not just being a daredevil.
Right.
She's channeling her inner jungle cat.
Exactly. Like, even though our house cats don't have to hunt to survive anymore, those instincts are still just deeply ingrained.
This makes me wonder about her eating habits, too. Mitchka's like a total grazer, always nibbling throughout the day. Is that connected to this predator instinct?
Oh, absolutely. Wild cats typically hunt small prey, and that means they need to eat small, frequent meals to keep their energy up.
Right.
And that stalk, pounce, kill, eat strategy is just really embedded in their DNA.
Okay, that explains the tiny portions, but like, what about the obsession with squeezing into the smallest, most impossible spaces?
Right.
Sometimes I swear that she's part liquid.
Yeah.
Remember that time she got wedged between the washing machine and the wall? I had to coax her out with a tuna-flavored bribe.
Well, I think that's actually a really good illustration of their hunting instincts in action, because a lot of small prey will hide in tight spaces. And so a cat's instinct to check those out is directly linked to their need to find food. And there's actually a scientific word for it.
Really?
It's phygmophilia, which is a love of tight spaces.
Phygmophilia. See, I'm learning new things already.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me how, like, these ancient instincts still influence their behavior today.
Right.
I guess that also explains why, like, my attempts to teach Mitchka to fetch have been met with blank stares and a flick of the tail.
Right. Well, we might find it fun to teach them these dog tricks,
Yeah.
but their brains are wired for different tasks,
Right.
like hunting and navigating their environment. And so those claws, for instance, are more than just tools for shredding furniture.
Oh, tell me about it. My couch can attest to the power of those murder mittens.
Exactly. In the wild, sharp claws are crucial for hunting, climbing, and defending themselves.
Right.
That's why cats scratch. It keeps their claws in good condition, stretches their muscles, and helps them mark their territory.
So it's not just about sharpening their weapons of mass destruction. It's actually, like, vital for their physical and mental well-being.
Exactly.
Which makes me think about another one of Mitchka's favorite activities.
Yeah.
Disappearing acts.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like she vanishes into thin air, and I'll search the whole house and finally find her curled up in a shoebox.
Right.
Or like tucked away in the linen closet.
Yeah, that classic disappearing act.
Why?
Well, I think that behavior, connects back to their role as prey animals in the wild.
Okay.
Hiding was essential for them to survive and not be somebody's dinner.
Right.
And so those small enclosed spaces give them a sense of security and comfort, even in our modern homes.
So it all makes sense now. It's like I'm starting to understand the secret language of cats.
Right.
Speaking of secrets, let's unravel one of the biggest mysteries of all. The purr. Everyone knows that cats purr when they're happy. But why?
Right.
What is the science behind this enigmatic feline sound?
That's a great question. It's a much more complex behavior than we think. Cats actually will purr when they're injured or stressed or even giving birth.
Really? Yeah. So it's like their own personal Morse code,
Right.
but instead of dots and dashes, it's just this rumble of cuteness. But seriously, what's going on there?
Well, there are a lot of theories about why cats purr.
Okay.
Some scientists believe it's a form of self-soothing
Okay.
to kind of help calm them down in stressful situations.
Right.
Others think it might be a way for them to communicate with their kittens.
Right.
And to give them a sense of security and bonding.
So it's not just about happiness. It's more like a multi-purpose tool
Right.
for communication and even self-healing.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Research has shown that the frequency of a cat's purr falls within a range that could potentially promote tissue regeneration.
What?
Yeah, it's between 25 and 150 hertz.
Okay.
which is similar to the frequencies that are used in some therapeutic ultrasound treatments.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that Michika's purr could be healing her,
Right.
that her little rumbling engine is like a built-in repair shop for her body?
It's a fascinating possibility.
Yeah.
And, more research needs to be done,
Right.
but it's a compelling theory. Imagine those soothing vibrations could actually be helping to mend bones and heal wounds.
Wow, okay.
And even reduce inflammation.
My mind is blown.
Yeah.
I always knew Michika was special, but like a tiny purr-powered healer.
Right.
That's next level amazing.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about like the whole human-cat relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if our homes are like their urban jungle,
Right.
as our source suggests, what do they think of us?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it? What's going on in those furry little heads?
Right.
We provide them with food and shelter and affection, but we
Right.
also control their environment and we set boundaries.
Yeah.
And sometimes we even dress them up in ridiculous outfits.
Okay, guilty as charged on that one.
Yeah.
But Michika does look ridiculously cute in her little shark costume. But seriously, what's the verdict here?
Right.
Are we friends? Are we foes? Or are we just weird, oversized roommates who dispense treats and chin scratches?
Yeah. It's probably a combination of all of those things.
Huh.
Cats are incredibly intelligent and observant creatures.
Yeah.
They've learned how to adapt to our world and how to benefit from us
Right.
without necessarily seeing us as equals.
So we're like benevolent caretakers.
Yeah.
Or maybe slightly clueless but well-meaning roommates who provide endless entertainment with our strange human habits.
Exactly. We talk to them in high-pitched voices. We
Right.
try to teach them to play fetch.
Yeah.
And we marvel at their ability to sleep for 18 hours a day.
Mm.
To them, we must seem utterly baffling.
Now that you mention it, Michika does give me that "you're a strange creature"
Yeah.
look sometimes.
Yeah.
But, there's also this sense of connection.
Yeah.
Like, she understands me on some level,
Right.
even if I don't always understand her.
That's the beauty of the human-cat bond. It's a unique interspecies relationship built on mutual affection, even if we don't always speak the same language. But, this does bring up another interesting point. Do you think they see us as competition? After all, we're sharing resources like food and territory.
Well, Michika definitely has a sense of ownership over my apartment.
Yeah.
She patrols her domain like a tiny furry queen.
Yeah.
But it's not like she's actively trying to, kick me out.
Right.
She just expects her royal tribute of food and cuddles.
Right. In the wild, cats would compete for those things.
Yeah.
But in our homes, it's different.
Right.
They've learned how to coexist with us and even benefit from us
Okay.
because we provide a steady source of food and shelter and entertainment.
Right. So there's not really a need for competition.
No, not really.
So maybe they see us as like providers.
Yeah.
Like walking, talking vending machines who also happen to offer warm laps and head scratches on demand.
That's one way to look at it.
Okay.
Or maybe they see us as sort of like a large, clueless member of their extended social group.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
We've been adopted into their world.
Right.
Even though we don't fully understand all the rules.
Exactly. We might stumble through their social cues,
Yeah.
but ultimately we've formed a unique bond that allows them to thrive in a human-dominated world.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to their adaptability and intelligence.
Speaking of intelligence,
Mm.
our source ends on a really thought-provoking question.
Uh-huh.
If our homes are their jungles, what do they think we are?
Right.
I mean, we've thrown around some ideas, clumsy cats, food providers, clueless roommates.
Yeah.
But maybe the answer is even deeper than that.
Yeah, maybe they see us as more than just providers or roommates, Maybe we represent something essential for their survival in this domesticated world.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. How could we be essential for their survival? I thought we already established that they've adapted pretty well to living with us,
Right.
even if they do think we're a bit odd.
Right, but think about it. In the wild, cats are solitary creatures.
Right.
Fiercely independent.
Right.
They hunt alone, they defend their territory alone, they raise their young alone. But in our homes, they've had to adapt to a totally different social structure.
Right.
One where they live in close proximity to humans.
That's true. Michika has definitely learned to tolerate, and I'd even say appreciate my presence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're best buds, but she does grace me with her purrs and head boops every now and then.
Exactly. And that's the key. By forming these bonds with us,
Right.
by integrating themselves into our lives,
Yeah.
they've secured access to a stable source of food and shelter and protection.
So it's not just about us providing for them. It's about them, evolving to rely on us in a way that benefits both species,
Yeah.
like a mutually beneficial partnership.
Precisely. We might think that we've domesticated them,
Yeah.
but maybe in a subtle way.
Oh,
They've domesticated us, too.
wow, that's a mind-blowing thought. We've unintentionally created this intricate dance
Yeah.
between two species,
Right.
each adapting to the other's presence over thousands of years. It's like we're partners in this grand evolutionary experiment.
It really is fascinating. We provide the resources.
They provide companionship and entertainment. We scratch their chins,
Right.
they purr on our laps. It's a delicate balance
Yeah.
that has really allowed them to thrive in a world that's so drastically different from their wild origins.
This whole deep dive has made me appreciate Michka in a whole new way. I always knew she was smart, resourceful,
Right.
but now I see her as, like, a true survivor.
Yeah.
A master adapter who's navigated this human-dominated world with incredible skill.
Absolutely. It's a testament to their evolutionary prowess.
Yeah.
They've taken those primal instincts, honed over millions of years,
Yeah.
and just seamlessly applied them to this new domesticated world.
And they've done it with, a unique feline flair. So what does all of this mean for us cat lovers? Like, how can we better understand and appreciate these amazing creatures?
Well, I think it means that we need to embrace the mystery
Okay.
and the unpredictability.
And the sheer brilliance of our feline companions. We need to accept that we'll never fully decipher their thoughts and motivations, and that's okay. It's part of what makes them so fascinating.
So no more trying to force fetch on my tiny lioness.
Perhaps, ease up on the fetch training a bit. Remember, they're not dogs. Their brilliance lies in their ability to be cats,
Okay.
to live on their own terms while still forging these incredible bonds with us.
I think I'm starting to get it. The next time I see Mishka perched on her throne, my bookshelf gazing down at me with those enigmatic emerald eyes, I'll know that she's not just being a cat.
She's a survivor, an adapter, a queen in her own right.
And maybe, just maybe, she's pondering the strange hairless ape who brings her endless treats and scratches her chin just the way she likes it.
Perhaps. Or maybe she's plotting world domination. We'll never know for sure.
That's what keeps it interesting.
Right. Well, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the fascinating world of cat behavior.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure exploring these feline mysteries with you. And remember, the next time your cat does something that leaves you scratching your head, don't just chalk it up to being a cat. Dig a little deeper. Explore their evolutionary past. You might be surprised at the wisdom and resilience you discover in those furry little bodies.
Until next time, keep those curiosity whiskers twitching.